Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I wanted to draw everyone's attention to something that I see forming, and Galgatron on Twitter pointed this out. I don't think I've ever mentioned Galgatron from Twitter, but the guy is really smart. So he's involved in the community. He's posting a lot of really smart things just about every day. It's at GALGITRON. So if you don't follow Galgatron, definitely you're going to want to do that. Very smart guy, and so he put some interesting things up. He's also got a blog that I'm going to show you here in a second. Today he puts up this: wow, stage 2, negative Bitcoin propaganda check. Decoupling is the next stage. All right, when you hear people talk about decoupling, what they're referring to is that the entire crypto market since its inception has pretty much, for the most part, gone up and down with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has led the way. That has been very frustrating for those of us that have all known that Bitcoin is just an inferior technology to XRP, and so it's frustrating to watch. It could be a piece of news about, it could be anything that drives the price of Bitcoin down, and then XRP will go down with it. Well, for a long time, many of us have said there will be a decoupling at some point. At some point, investors and people that have gone through the same thoughtful approach that we as XRP holders have gone through, the majority of investors will eventually reach the same conclusions, because the truth is the truth. XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created. So back to Galgatron's tweet. It's in reference to decoupling. Well, something I did not mention that was a piece of news that came out over the weekend was that Corey Johnson from Ripple had mentioned in an article that the White House had looked at XRP, and so the tweet that Galgatron is mentioning is what's now that mention by Corey Johnson that the Trump administration is looking seriously at digital assets and knows about XRP and knows about Bitcoin. In some of those articles, there was a few mentions of the fact that China controls most of the mining for Bitcoin and therefore controls the Bitcoin market, and how that made Trump nervous. Well, Galgatron's tweet references an article that I believe came out today about this same topic. But what is happening is what it looks like is a lot of news outlets are starting to pick up on this news, and it's becoming a political issue. XRP versus Bitcoin. XRP is not controlled by China. Bitcoin's controlled by China. So this article says China's Bitcoin dominance is worrying Trump's White House and pushing it toward Ripple. Now, who knows if that's exactly true? But the point is that when you take a step back and you look at it from that perspective, that 70% of Bitcoin is being mined by China, and they in other words control it. When you look at it from that perspective, that you can see how that would make the United States government nervous, and many other people nervous could possibly worry about China controlling a market like that. And so then I saw Galgatron's tweet, and then this popped up at about the same time that I saw his tweet. Another article, and this one's from AMB Crypto: XRP and Bitcoin to be weaponized by political forces, reports allege. And so what you're seeing now is and the way this is being said, it says the news started circling around for the interview of Ripple's chief strategist Corey Johnson with Crypto Focus magazine Breaker. Here, Johnson implied that XRP is already up in the cryptocurrency game due to two aspects that it offers. Since the coin does not require mining, it is beneficial from a foreign control perspective and an environmental one as well. Regarding the White House's approach to XRP, he also hinted the White House in particular seems to be thinking about what it means to have 80% of Bitcoin mining taking place in China and the majority of Ether mining taking place in China. So, for you and I as XRP holders, this is very exciting in a way that we've kind of said the mining thing. It was a great idea and all, but there's downsides to it. And so even though Ripple has been attacked a lot for being decentralized or being centralized, the fact is XRP is decentralized and it's not controlled by China. And that is an excellent thing. And that's something that a lot of Bitcoin people are going to have a hard time getting around. Well, I want to go back to Galgatron's tweet. When he says stage 2, I looked further down in the tweet and he said that referenced his blog post. And Galgatron basically did a blog post on the slow but inevitable death of Bitcoin. And that's kind of the way that I've felt all along too. Bitcoin is eventually going to be replaced. XRP, because it's the greatest digital asset ever created, will be number one, and I believe that not just investors, but the New York Stock Exchange, people that are opening back, I think that a lot of these major players in the digital assets field that are coming in, I believe that a lot of these mutual funds and ETFs that you will see, they will start with Bitcoin maintaining the higher percentage in those investment vehicles, but over time, you're going to see XRP go further and further up the ranks until it dominates. But what Galgatron's blog is about is he gives you the stages of what he thinks are going to be the death of Bitcoin. In this article, he had stage 1, massive Bitcoin unloading sales. He's used Mt. Gox as an example. And then stage 2, and this is what he was pointing to in his tweet, is an uptick in negative Bitcoin propaganda. Step 3, the decoupling. He does mention that there will be a lot of Bitcoin whales that will try to prevent this from happening. And then he's got the flippening. The market cap is actually dethroned. And then the 5th stage is the double spend. And he thinks that there will be a double spend attack successfully executed and millions of Bitcoins will be stolen. And he said that will be the ultimate, that will be when things really, there's no coming back and people will go to digital assets like XRP that do not have the double spend problem. And so this, you can go to Galgatron's blog. I said Galgatron. It's Galgatron. GALGITRON.net is his blog. So, and he's got a lot of different posts, but a real smart guy, so worth doing. Now, before I finish this video, I want to tell you how Ripple XRP should make you feel. I've been talking for months about all of the awesome reasons and the reasons you need to be excited about XRP. I've told you about Wall Street coming, that we've started utility, we're in physical production, and that's just going to increase and increase and increase over time. We've talked about the FX markets and all the new investment vehicles that are coming to digital assets and all the different digital asset exchanges that are opening. Fidelity was yesterday. We've talked about all of this. And this weekend, I saw something when I was watching TV and football. I saw something that embodied the way that I feel right now about Ripple and XRP. And I want to show it to you because everybody should see this. And this is, every once in a while you see something on TV or Twitter or online, and it really grabs you, and it really it's really kind of profound to see something like this. What it was, for those of you, especially those of you over in Europe, and all over the world, you may not follow football in the United States, but in the southern United States, college football is probably bigger than NFL football. But the SEC in the southeast United States is all that anyone cares about on the weekends, and that is the Southeastern Conference college football. Well, this weekend you had one of the biggest games that we've had this year, and that was LSU versus Georgia. And Georgia was supposed to have a real shot at going all the way to the national championship and the playoffs. And so they were playing at LSU. Now, anybody who knows anything knows that LSU is one of the toughest places for any team to go and play. And the fans and the football players at LSU get really hyped up. Well, as much as I don't like LSU since I went to Auburn, I still think this is worthy of showing you, because everybody needs to watch this and they need to show their children, because I love it when people can really capture the emotion and the emotion necessary to win. And this guy that I saw on TV, oh my goodness, this is how I feel about XRP. When I watch this is exactly the way XRP should make you feel. What this is the Twitter feed, and I'm going to reference the video here in a minute because everybody needs to watch it. What this is this is a player. The guy right here is a player on LSU's football team. His name's Braden Fehoko. He's from Hawaii. This is his brother, and this is his father. His father was, I think he was the mascot for the University of Hawaii, I believe, back in the day, or maybe he still is, but I think he was or is. Well, anyway, so at the beginning before the game, Braden Fehoko is walking into the locker room to get ready for the game, and he passes his father and his brother out here, and they the father and the brother, he's got his headphones on, and then the father and the brother decide that they're going to start doing this. I guess it's a traditional dance called the haka. It looks like a traditional, like, Hawaiian dance, and they start doing it, and he finally takes his earphones off, and then he starts doing it. And when you watch this, I had a friend send me this video, and when he sent it to me, he said it was after the game, and he said, "Man, if I had seen this video before I watched this game, I would not have bet on Georgia to win the game." And that's how intense these guys are. But I love people and situations where people display this kind of intensity, because this is the kind of intensity I have for Ripple XRP. I'm 1,000% believer, and I know what's coming. I want you to watch this, and when you watch it, this is how I feel right here, and you should too. I am the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Also, before I forget, you can go to YouTube to watch this dance. Just type in LSU haka, okay? And also, before I go, this week and this week only, the Ledger people are giving 20% off the Ledger Nano S. If you have not gotten the Ledger Nano S hard wallet, it's the only safe way to hold your digital assets. You can go in the description of any of my videos, and you can go and get the Ledger Nano S. You need to do it today if you don't have one, because they are 20% off, and I think it's just for this week. Thanks for listening.